If you want to lose fat, get leaner, have your clothes fit better, also look more toned, you don't actually want to focus on weight loss. You want to focus on body recomposition. And what that is essentially getting rid of the fat while focusing on retaining the bone density and maintaining and building your muscle. When you actually just step on a typical scale like you do in your bathroom or the doctor's office, that is the weight of your entire body. It may seem obvious, but it is the critical difference between weight loss and body recomposition. A typical scale can only tell you if your weight is going up, down, or staying the same. It doesn't tell you anything about your water, your muscle, your fat, or your bone density, because those are all areas we can either lose or gain from. We never want to lose bone. First and foremost, it will lead to osteopenia, which can lead to osteoporosis, aka very brittle bones, increasing your risk of any bone fractures. Typically, never ever want to lose muscle. We either want to maintain it or build it. And that's because muscle controls our metabolism. It tells us how we are going to be utilizing energy, how much we're going to be using. It's the organ of longevity, which does improve our health and independence later on in life. It makes you feel strong and helps with insulin resistance because it helps increase the uptake of glucose from your blood. As for water, we really never want to lose too much water. We want to keep it stable so that our cells feel really good, really hydrated. And then there is fat. That is what is going to change your appearance the most. When we are only focused on losing that fat, we can simultaneously and increase your muscle mass, which means that we will be able to increase your metabolism, increase the amount of carbs that your muscles are able to uptake, increasing your longevity. And when we increase your metabolism, we're not going to have to continue to drastically decrease the amount of calories you are eating in order to see more fat loss results. And when you are focused solely on weight loss, you can be losing weight from any of the 4 categories that I've mentioned. And you probably wouldn't really know right off the bat. You wouldn't really know which one you'd be losing from. If you're simply just counting calories, you don't really know the proportion of protein to carbs to fats, which can really be detrimental because 20 to 30% of your weight loss could be muscle, and maybe you didn't know it at the time, but now you do. And there is cardio, which is kind of the same thing as if you were just to count your calories, because you're just going to be burning more and more calories, right? It will require more energy from your system. Cardio also tends to make people a lot more hungry and increase cravings. And if you're doing a lot of unnecessary cardio, this will increase your cortisol over time, which is linked to weight gain around the belly. The major issue with just focusing on weight loss is that it can lead to easily regain all that weight, because your metabolism drastically decreases because you have lost muscle. In addition, you are going to be ravenously hungry because you are not properly balancing your food. And as a result, you're really going to be relying on discipline and willpower to just get through the day. But if you're focusing on body recomposition, you could use your scale weight as a metric, but I would highly suggest you also do some body stats and see if you're losing inches around your waist, around your bust, hips, or thighs. Progress photos are absolutely key, and clothes will never lie. You can also use a lot more objective measures like an InBody or a DEXA scan, which will literally show you the percentage and ratios of your muscle mass from your left arm to your right arm to your trunk to your left leg to your right leg. It will show you the amount of cellular water you're holding and a whole lot more. And this is actually what you want from your weight loss, is specifically looking at the fat percentage being lost. Body recomposition also solves the problem that weight loss has. It actually makes the process a lot more sustainable because you are focusing on fueling your body properly, not depriving it. You are not going to be craving all of the foods, and you're going to have such a much better metabolism, and you're going to be able to maintain it. But to actually burn fat and retain and gain muscle, we need to tell the body where to burn the fuel from from and where to not burn the fuel from. And we do this with how we eat, how we move, how we recover. And it starts with what we eat, specifically protein. There's a reason why everybody is obsessed with protein. It's because we have seen its benefits for your metabolism, your muscle, and satiety. Eat enough protein and you are going to save your muscle from burning off while you are losing weight. Now, your protein intake is going to be obviously individualized. I suggest 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. If you have a lot of body fat to lose, I would suggest halving that amount and then building up from there. I also suggest maybe if you don't want to actually count your protein in grams, maybe attaining around a palm or two full of protein per meal is a good baseline. And there are carbs and fats, are fueling macronutrients. This is very individualized. Once again, your proportion of carbs and fats, and it really does depend on you and your body as well as your preference. I would suggest you stick to low glycemic carbohydrates. This will make sure that your blood sugar is relatively stable throughout the day, lowering your need for any sort of cravings. In addition, it will aid in better digestion because these lower glycemic index foods tend to be really high in fiber. And fiber literally expands your stomach, sending a signal to your brain to stop eating, aka it'll make you more satisfied. And we don't necessarily want a high fat diet, but we absolutely want fats in our diet for healthy skin, hair, nails, in addition for good hormone regulation. This will also help increase satiety hormones like CCK. Now, if you're somebody who is very active or more active than the average person, I would highly suggest you reach out for more starchier carbs because this will really aid in your performance and recovery. Finally, we get to how to move. We have to do this properly because we can easily get into the trap of doing more, eating less, and just running that hamster wheel. So, number one, of course, to maintain and build muscle, you need to give it a stimulus, aka resistance training. Next is cardio. You really want to just start with a baseline of steps. Why? Well, because it is really low intensity exercise that basically anybody could do. And honestly, you can do it while you are multitasking, replying to messages, having a phone call, listening to a podcast, YouTube video, whatever it is really easy to incorporate a 20-minute walk starting from what you are doing right now, okay? As time progresses and as you want to get a little bit more aggressive with your goals, I would suggest increasing the amount of reps or sets that you do in your resistance training first, keeping your steps the same, and then if you feel really good, increase those steps, or actually start with some more intense cardio. This is actually going to, of course, burn more calories throughout your day, and as a result, making fat loss easier. I should also mention that you need to be focusing on sleep. Sleep is crucial for your muscle recovery, to increase your growth hormone, and just keep your cravings down. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let me know what you want to see next.